Hello everyone, welcome to Pinkoween, a month of videos dedicated to the color palette with pink and orange. So I'm going to put that up on the screen. You can follow along with us and pick out some colors of pink. You're going to need a light and dark pink. I'm using Bubblegum Pink and Joyful Pink. You're going to need a light and dark orange. I've got Fresh Mango and Jack-o'-lantern Orange, and then black and white. And today I'm creating on a round surface that's about 4 inches. It's just slightly less, but I'm going to go ahead and call it 4 inches. And I'm using a 16 arm palette, and I've got my grid lines marked, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So grab some paint, grab your dotting tools, and let's get going. I'm going to create my center dot with an 8-inch tool, or I'm sorry, 8-inch, that would be huge, 8 millimeters, and white paint for our center dot. $8mm white paint for the center. Next, I'm going to get a 1.5mm stylus, and I am going to use the dark orange. We're going to make 16 dots around this center. This is 1.5mm jack-o'-lantern orange or dark orange. I'm going to use my 2mm tool and my light orange. And I'm going to create another ring of 16. These are offset, so they go in between that previous row. The 2mm and light orange. All right, next I'm going to use a 4mm tool, and I'm going to use the white paint, and I'm going to create some pins, thin pins or teardrop shapes. I'm going to leave a little room between this row. So I'm going to go just outside my very first ring on my stencil here. And I'm going to do it on all 16 lines. But I'm going to do a couple at a time because I'm going to pull these into pins. We are going to do 16, but I'm going to start with my main 8 first so that I can keep them centered. So I'm going to go ahead and make the 4mm dots. And then I'm going to take a stylus and just pull that towards the center to make a pin. We are going to do this 16 times. One on every line. Next, I'm going to grab a 4.5mm tool. If you don't have a 4 or a 4.5, you can use a 4, you can use a 5. I'm going to go back to my dark orange. Again, I'm going to leave some room in between the previous row. I'm going to go just outside my next line, or my next ring of the stencil here. We're going to place 16 4.5mm dots. This is jack-o'-lantern orange. Next, I'm going to get my 1.5 millimeter tool. I'm going to use my light orange, and I am going to dip and walk the dots. I'm going to start in between these two circles, and I'm going to walk the dots inward. So dip and 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to continue with the light orange, and I'm using my 1.5 millimeter tool, so the same one we were just using, and we're going to walk the dots around the dark orange. So I'm going to start in the middle. At the top, we're going to do a set of 3 dots. So I'm going to start on one half, walk the dots, start on the other half and walk the dots. So the 2 dots up at the top are the same size. So we start and go this way, start and go this way, and then when I'm finished, we're going to place that 3rd dot right there. So we're going to walk to the right, walk to the left, and then place a dot just above in that center. We've created 16 petals. Next, I'm going to get my 3mm dotting tool. I'm not going to use a stylus for this. I like the 3mm tool better, but you can use either. And I'm going to take the white paint, and we're going to have one dot on every line. I know this is called Pinkoween, and I haven't used any pink yet, but I am saving that for top dots. It will all make sense when we're finished. I'm going to keep using the same tool, and I'm going to go to my dark orange. We're going to add one dot in between, so one dot in every space. Then I'm going to grab my 4mm tool. I'm going to continue using dark orange, and I'm going to place a dot next to every white dot with the dark orange. And then next to the dark orange, or in between, I'm going to place a white dot. So on this outside ring, we're just reversing the pattern. Stick my finger in that one, I did. All right, this is the base of the design. I'm going to go ahead and mute for a minute, and then I'm going to do top dots after I dry this. All right, I am dry enough for top dots, and this is where we're going to bring in some of that pink. I am going to get my 5mm tool, and I'm going to use dark pink in the center. In each of these white spaces, I'm going to use my 2mm tool, maybe 2.5, 2 or 2.5, and we're going to do light pink dots. And all of these pins. I'm going to use the same size tool, 2 or 2.5, and I'm going to use dark pink. And I'm going to add a dot inside each of these petals. I'm going to get a small stylus, 1.5mm, and I'm going to use a black paint. And around the edge here, wherever I've got a white dot, I'm going to place a black dot right on top. And I am also, when my center dot is dry, going to add a black dot, a third dot in the center. So that's going to need a moment to dry. All right, once again, I'm going to dry and I'm going to put that last dot on. For my last dot, I'm going to do 4 millimeters in the center. And there you have it. Pinkoween, video 7. This one is called Creepy Crawlies. It's a very simple design. There's not a whole lot of technical work that goes in it, but it's really pretty when it's finished. I would love to see your version, so you can tag me on all the socials at Tara Lynn Pugh Artist, or share with me in my free Facebook group, Mandala Artists USA. I can't wait to see what you create. And if you would throw a like on this video, that would help so much. It means a lot to small creators. And if you find value in our Pinkoween content, or you want to find the rest of our Pinkoween content, go ahead and follow me on YouTube. Pinkoween is 15 videos throughout the month of October with this fun orange and pink palette.